Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 30th. Let's go ahead and jump in here with a little bit of a bounce that we have going on into the open. If we look at just the SPY, you can see we're off of those highs, but these fib lines that I have in here, let's go take a look at why those are drawn in. Boom, here we go. It's from the low that we had in June to the high that we had earlier in the month, about halfway through the month. This is the last day of the month too, so kind of keep that in mind as positions maybe start to jockey around a little bit as we head into, oh no, I guess tomorrow's the last day of the month, but the end of the month nonetheless. And then of course on Friday we have the monthly labor report. Now, real quick, I want to get on this because it was posted in the room, and this is something, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but what happened was the White House came out and said, well, I don't think the labor report's going to be all that great, look for it to start cooling. Okay, well, I'm hopping on my high horse, so you might want to mute for just a few seconds. But, well, duh, it's going to cool. Yeah, last month it was so high, right? We're over 500,000. But here's the thing. Of the people looking for jobs, there's still more than one job position open. It's almost 1.5 jobs open per people looking. So no kidding, the numbers are going to come down because there's just not that many matches, right? So there's a lot of people still looking. I'm not, discounting that, but they're not looking for the jobs that are available. So we have this disconnect. So are those numbers going to come down? Yes. Does it mean our labor report has softened? Not exactly. You can't look at just the numbers without looking inside the numbers. So what are we looking for? Service sectors, manufacturing, things like that, travel and industry. Those are the things that we're looking at. That's where we decide whether or not we're softening or not just the raw number. And it's so myopic to focus on just one thing. It makes me crazy. Now, my other issue is the White House or the administration or any of the cabinet members, they shouldn't be talking about this. They get the early look, right? And then they can talk about it. And I don't care what administration it is. I just don't care. When data, we had this happen with CPI a couple months ago. They came out, they're like, hey, watch out. CPI is not going to look that good, right? They shouldn't do that. That is not their place to do that. But what it does afford the market to do is to now look at it and say, oh, okay, we've had this warning, so they're going to bake it in. It's market manipulation. And although maybe we don't want to have the whippiness on the day of the data, whatever the data is released, but that's what the market is supposed to do, right? But now we're gonna in the market and maybe an analyst attempt to kind of smooth things over, they break it. So, you know what? Just stay out of it. It just makes me crazy. But anyway, that's what they're saying, that these it is a good chance that we are going to not have as great of a number as last month. Maybe revisions will be a little off. I don't know. But we do have that on Friday. Friday is also a Friday before a 3-day weekend. So we'll probably have that fun action early in the morning. And then by noon, everybody is gone for their, the last big 3-day weekend of the summer, and off we go, right? So I think that it'll be kind of slow going into the afternoon on Friday. Then, of course, Monday we're closed for Labor Day. Anyway, this is what the SPY looks like. That's why I drew those lines. Yesterday, this line had been in there already. This is the one that we caught on the way down. We were watching this line to give way. And it actually comes back, if I drew it back here, but the charts are messy. It comes back to an area of resistance back here that we were able to get up on top of for a little bit where it was support and then failed, right? So this is still a very valid line, and you can see we stayed right in between these two lines. This is a previous gap line, matched it up here and here, right? And used that yesterday kind of in a range. Now we're bumping up a little bit here this morning, but where we start, where we end can be two very different places as we saw yesterday. Inside yesterday's candle, pretty even buying and selling, a little bit more selling, but not too much. We used the 50. This is the ES. So this is the futures chart of the index, not the SPY, but of the index. And this is, we use this 50 pretty nicely, looking to come up just a little bit. Doesn't look like, well, I hope we don't really leave a gap, but we might leave a small one. In any case, watch out. This could be a bear flag, right? Could be the head and shoulders we've talked about, or it could be setting up a longer term inverse head and shoulder. These are all possibilities that we do not yet know. So stop trying to figure out where the market's going and deal with where it is right now. So simple. All right. That being said, there are a few plays that I'm watching here this morning. Amazon, I think some of these are just good buys. We still have a lot of gap area left here. And as long as we stay close to this 34, I would be okay with hopping in on a 1021 130 call. I want to enter there at the high of yesterday, or as it's above the high of yesterday, so 131.95. Going to stop that at the low at 128.75, targeting 136.55 and the 20 moving average. All right. Well, if we're shopping at Amazon, we got to get it delivered, and, well, there's where UPS comes in. Not just UPS, but FedEx, but I really like this UPS because we happened to catch the 34 in this morning. I'm looking for a move back up above that 200 moving average. I like the UPS 200 calls around 199.55, stopping at 197.70, targeting the 20 moving average up off of the 200, and then 198.93. All right, basic materials have been doing very well. Nice bull flag setup here. Love LTHM, but look at the other ones too. Whether it be Mosaic, MOS, CCJ, AA, LAC. Just kind of, NUE, there we go. So there's a bunch of them in there. I don't know them, obviously I don't know them all off the top of my head, but look at all the ones that we play kind of fairly recent, or fairly frequently. So I like the 1021 LTHM 35 calls. I want to enter there around 33.50. I'm going to close I'm going to go ahead and stop out if it closes below the 8 EMA. And again, looking for a breakout from this bull flag and then a 34.61. I like a target of 33.77, which I know is really close to that entry, but then 35.26 in a breakout. All right, BBY reported this morning, and they are pushing up. So retail, Big Lots and BBY both reported. They are pushing up here this morning, so keep an eye on these. Again, some of those other names, MOS, or AA, MOS. Really like this MOS chart. Another bull flag setup looking there. You know, I need a little Starbucks this morning, but I'm going to be looking at this one. This one actually put in a pretty nice day yesterday, coming back to the 34, so anything over the 34. Pinduoduo reported yesterday, gave back a lot of those gains, but this morning, Baidu reporting, so watch all of these to come back in and make a nice little run here this morning. And they'll move kind of in sympathy with each other. The one thing I really like about Baidu in general, regardless of the earnings, right? We had a bull flag setup coming into today, and that continues to look good. JD, Net, this one a little bit rougher and looks like, yeah, I don't know if I like this one as much, but that is a cloud name, and KWeb as well. So up over the 50 on that one, looked pretty good. Looking for a downside in Twilio, just can't seem to get its poop together. SE, I see it's a little bit up this morning, but I really like this down to that 54.06 area. Bumble, apparently matchmaking, not really the thing right now. Looking for a fail of this level here at 25.70. And Walmart will probably move back up today with the rest of, with some retail names moving on there. But overall, again, kind of a bearish flag setup looking. So Walmart to the downside. Okay, that is it for me here this morning. I hope you have, real quick, CL. So this is the oil futures. They are down after a pretty nice day yesterday. I did get back into Oxy, and I'll tell you why. This does not scare me. I like Oxy, and the reason, and I took the September 75 calls, and next time I take those, I will go into October. But I'm telling you, my thesis is still the same. Whether I end up being right or wrong, well, that has yet to happen. But my argument for it is going forward, we're moving into colder temperatures. Putin is not relenting at all in terms of allowing oil and gas to get into Europe, and I think that we are just going to be facing a pretty big crunch, and OPEC is suspected to not increase output regardless of demand that an increasing demand that we have going on. So, am I willing to sit through some red on this? Absolutely. I am willing to do that on oil until I feel like this is not going to play out. And right now, I have a hard time believing this thesis isn't going to come to pass. Also, pretty shallow. You might be able to make the case for an inverse head and shoulders on that. We'll see. But overall, I'm willing to sit in that. And then also, I took run. Now, FSLR is moving this morning. It adds up a little bit, so maybe run will go along with it. But solars in general have been shining fairly well. We did not, right, this does look like a head and shoulder, so we'll be cautious of that pattern. I would probably go ahead and draw it like this. I won't let it get down that low before I would stop out. But I closed half the position out just to protect some capital into today, but you'll see this is starting to move back up. So potentially that is a bull flag setup. See, there can be multiple patterns inside of other patterns, right? So you have bull flag and bear flag setups inside head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders. So don't let one freak you out. Let the nearest pattern play out first. Okay, that is it for me this morning. If you have any questions, reach out. HeatherC@GivingTreeTrading.com. Watch out for the Fed speak. We can see is barking right now. We'll see if that affects our futures. Have a wonderful day.